Alright, so today I'll be talking about how to import a RAW or a JPEG image file into Unity, as well as creating a valley after we do so. So, the first thing we need to do is have Photoshop and Unity open, or actually have the programs itself, and then go up to Google. In the search bar, type in Heightmap, height space map, and then click the search bar and hit images. And it'll bring up a list of different height maps. Any of these would really work, but we're going to try to go with something more neutral so we can, easily adjust the image and make it into a valley, just so it's not so complex. So I'm going to go with this one over here. I already have this image file, and I know it's pretty basic, so go view image, drag it to your desktop. Mine says copy and replace, but we'll save it. Then we're gonna go back to our desktop, right click on the image, and then open with, and hit Photoshop. Now when you get an image, it's very small, so the first thing we have to do is go up to image, and we're gonna go to image and hit image size. As you can see, the image will be about 298 by 298 pixels. We're going to want to change that to 512 by 512. The reason why we want to change it by 512 by 512 is because in Unity, it gets very... If it's too small, it'll be too tight and complex. So we'll make it 512 by 512 as a standard. You can go bigger if you want, but we'll do that now because the image was already kind of small. At the top, now we're going to go to image, we're going to hit mode, and go to grayscale. Because height maps are more commonly known as grayscale images, so this is why we have to do that. To importing purposes, so just go back up, make sure it says grayscale and has a check mark next to it. After that, we're going to go over to File, and we're going to hit Save As, and we're going to type it, we're going to name this height1 underscore 1, and save as a raw image file. The image must be a Photoshop raw image file, or else it won't work, and you won't be able to import it into Unity. And I'm going to choose desktop just because that's my preference, easiest to get to. Hit save. It'll come up with this little box. Just hit OK. I'm going to close this out. We're going to open up Unity, and we're going to import our image. Alright, so once this opens up, just close all these out. Okay, now we're going to do file new scene if your previous scene was already made. Otherwise, you can just hit create 3D object terrain. Now we hit F to focus, and when you zoom in, the terrain is pretty big. It's 2000 by 2000. You can change that easily in the settings bar. We'll get to that later. But for now, we're going to go under the inspectors tab, hit the settings bar, and then we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. And at the bottom you'll see import raw. We're going to click on that. Go to our desktop, find our image or our raw image file, click height 1, open. A box will come on the left side. Make sure it says 512 by 512. I've done this before and I've had a problem where it would say 00. So if you did that, then there's something wrong in Photoshop. So hit import. It'll come up with your terrain. Very simple, a lot faster than creating that with your brushes and swashes and stuff like that. If you want, you can go back through and you can hit the smooth tool and smooth out some parts of the land. It'll just take you some time. And in settings, at the bottom you'll see it's 2000 by 2000. Some people prefer it smaller because they get more details, more rigidness. For this case, I think it's fine at 2000. You could actually go bigger. I'll just show you what it's like in 1500 by 1500. Alright, we'll go back to 2000 for time's sake. 2000. Alright, now next up I'm going to show you how to make a terrain. You could sit here and go back and forth and try to make this really pretty. If you're just trying to get a level done, it's much simpler to just go into Photoshop and it's very easy to make the terrain. So we're going to open Photoshop back up, Make sure you unlock your layer on the right side, and then we're going to right click, duplicate layer, hit OK, just so if we mess up we have that backup layer. Now your swatches on the left side, so I'm clicking on them between white and black, and we're going to hit the paintbrush tool. The hotkey is B, and take our opacity, we'll go to about 40, somewhere around 40, and we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And you can make the terrain anywhere you want. I'm just going to draw this simple line just to show you guys. So drawing it, and a height map, the darker spots are more commonly known as the low points. So this would be our valley, our actual valley, and the whiter spots will be known as the mountains. So you flip it to white. We're going to take our brush, we're going to lower it a lot more because the white shows up a lot easier than the black. So the whiter the spot, the higher it will be. So I'm just going to make this one spot really high, or not really high, but just kind of higher than all the others, and you'll see it later on. So after you get this, we're going to make sure we get our mountains rising next to the valley. If you go some white into the black, it's okay. You can easily just go back over it. That's what's so great about Photoshop. So we're going to save it again as a raw image file. I'm going to rename it height_1 just to replace the file. You can save it to whatever you want. Hit yes. Hit OK. Now we're going to open Unity back up, and we're going to go to the settings tab, go back down to import raw, desktop, height 1, same thing's going to come up. We're going to hit import, and there's your valley. A lot simple, a lot more simpler than just sitting there and, you know, back and forth with your mouse, as it took us a matter of 35-40 seconds when you can really do it in about 5 seconds. As you can see on the other side, I made it a little bit longer, or the white spot's a little bit higher. You can see if you want to create, you know, multiple valleys, you can make your terrain smaller or your valley smaller to make the terrain look bigger, etc. But that's pretty much it. So thank you.